Okay, so any questions on D1, D2, D3 forms? So D1 is for type certified, D2 is for UN number, D3 is for transfer and deregistration of form. So remember this. So there are, earlier I told you, out of car of 2018, there were 25 forms. From drone rules 2021, there are only 5 forms. Okay, and the fee is very, very nominal. Earlier fee was like 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 kind of thing. Right now the fee is only 100 rupees for D1, D2, D3 forms. Only 100 rupees you have to pay to the government. Okay. Now the next segment is operations of drones. Okay, this is the most important segment of your drone rules 2021. So if you see, our entire airspace of India is divided into zones. So there are different zones. There are 3 types of zones: red zone, yellow zone and green zone. So any location will be defined in either of these 3 zones. Okay, so any high security area. High security area means what? Can you give an example of high security area? Can you think about any high security area or a zone?
Defense area.
Defense area. Very good. What else? Where the high security location is required, or where the location has high securities. One is defense. Definitely defense will have a security, but within civilian space, that's the defense is a completely self. Airport. Very good. What else?
So national monuments.
National monuments. Very good. Anything else? Parliament House, Rashtrapati Bhavan, temples, nuclear facilities, right? Even your critical big dams, they all are restricted zones or high security area. Okay, you cannot fly drones there without permissions. So for example, for our understanding of our example, we will take an example of our airport. So airport is a high security area. Okay, so airport area, okay, airport will have a boundary, a perimeter wall. So that perimeter wall is, whatever the area comes under that perimeter wall will be a red zone. Now we have to define that red zone. So how big is red zone? So because every airport will have its own different area, the size of area. Some is having 2 kilometer of runway, some is having 3 kilometer size of runway, some go to having multiple runways and all that scenarios. Okay, so the area of the airport will vary, but from the airport, how big the red zone? So from the perimeter of the wall or perimeter of the airport or perimeter of a high security area, okay, whatever the perimeter is there, from that area up to 5 kilometers, 360 degree, the diameter, okay, 5 kilometers will be your red zone. Okay, understood what I'm saying? So from airport, the boundary would be there of that airport. From that boundary up to 5 kilometers will be your red zone. Okay, from 5 kilometers and beyond, that is next 3 kilometers will be your inner yellow zone. Okay, that is up to 8 kilometers. So 5 kilometers to 8 kilometers will be your inner yellow zones. From 8 kilometers, another 4 kilometers, that is from 8 kilometers till 12 kilometers will be your outer yellow zone. And beyond 12 kilometers, that is from the perimeter of the airport till the 12 kilometers will be outside, will be your green zone. Okay, that is how your zones are being categorized. So from, if you see the example of Mumbai airport, from the airport till the 5 kilometer, it will be red zone. From 5 kilometers to 8 kilometers, it will be inner yellow zone. Okay, and after 8 kilometers till 12 kilometers, there are 2 segments into that. Okay, they in outer yellow zone, there is a segment called green zone also. Okay, now this from 8 kilometers to 12 kilometers, here that area of 200 feet is termed as a green zone also. So within 8 kilometers to 12 kilometers, you can fly drones, but that is only up to 200 feet. Beyond 12 kilometers, you can fly up to 400 feet. But if you want to fly above 400 feet in a green zone, it will automatically go into yellow zone. So anything above 400 feet everywhere is your yellow zone. And when you are flying a drone in yellow zone, you need to take a permission from ATC. Okay, without ATC intervention, you cannot fly your drone. Okay, or they will take a legal action if you fly the drone in the yellow zone above 400 feet. Okay, above 400 feet, whereas your limitation is in yellow zone is up to 200 feet within yellow zone. Okay, like outer yellow zone, you have that limitation up to 200 feet, but inner yellow zone you cannot completely fly without ATC permission. Okay, so for example, Shubham, your area might be coming within inner yellow zone. The IIT zone is coming under inner yellow zone. That's why they have a permission from ATC. There is a agreement which is signed by IIT Bombay with the ATC, and it is renewed every year. Okay, it is renewed every year on the things. Okay, but since you are flying within your area and within your what is that called, that flying area, okay, that ground where you fly the drones, that's why you really don't require to communicate to ATC. But if you are flying higher and outside that area in that segment, you will definitely require to communicate to your ATC. Right?
Yes.
So any questions on the zones? I will be explaining you and showing you on the Digital Sky platform also. If you have any doubts, you will get clarified there also. Any questions here on red zone, yellow zone, green zone? Or I can move ahead.
Not right now.
Okay. So next is mandatory pre-flight verification of zonal restriction. So see, right now we are training you in a green zone, right? Our airbase or drone flying base or drone port is right now in a green zone. Though it is in a green zone, when it is certified or authorized, it was in a green zone, but still I need to verify the Digital Sky platform every time I intend to do my operations. So before commencing an unmanned aircraft system operations, a remote pilot shall mandatorily verify the Digital Sky platform for notification or restrictions applicable to unmanned aircraft system operations in intended area of operations. Like example, during the war, okay, the war with the Pakistan, what's happened in the month of May, okay. So during that time, Mumbai was completely under the red zone. So completely your flying of the drones was stopped. Okay, it was completely restricted. Even the states, the northern western states, right from Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Jammu, Himachal Pradesh, all these locations were all stopped for red zone. They were all converted into red zone till 13th of June. After the war has stopped, and still for 1 month that area was still under as a red zone. On 13th of the June, they have removed that restrictions. Now they are under normal segmentation, that is as per the requirement, red, yellow and green zone. Whereas initially you must have seen some pictures also on Instagram, Facebook or on social media platform, right? In north and western states are converted into red zone. Right now also the classical example I would say that Pune, okay, Pune district, Solapur district and Ahmednagar district, the entire three districts are also under red zone. Okay, they have been converted into the complete districts are being converted as a red zone since 4th December 2024 for next 3 years. Okay, due to some political as well as defense related activity wise. Okay, that's why they have converted those zones. And you see there were a couple of RPTOs in those zones. Like there were 3 RPTOs in Pune, Solapur segment. And they were badly affected because they could not fly the drones or they cannot continue their trainings. They have to approach the Ministry of Civil Aviation's Airport Authority of India and DGCA to give them a temporary approval to fly the drones within their airbase. So they were after almost 1 month back and forth communication and all those things, they got on 4th January 2025 the temporary approval which needs to be renewed every year, and their operation is only restricted to their authorized flying base only. Okay, so that's what is saying. Requirement of prior permission: no person shall operate an unmanned aircraft system in red zone or yellow zone without prior permission. No permission, no prior permission shall be required for operating an unmanned aircraft system in a green zone. See, this is a very blanket statement, or open statement, I would say. That doesn't mean that you can just take your drone in a green zone and fly. It's not like that. Even in a green zone, there are restrictions depending upon where you are flying. Like for example, my resort belongs to green zone, doesn't mean that anybody can come to my resort and fly drone. Or even the villages belongs to green zone, that doesn't mean that you can fly drone there without any permission. So if you are flying the drones in green zone also, you have to take approvals. Like for example, you are flying in a village, for example, you may have to take a permission from local enforcement body, maybe from a local police station and from gram panchayat. Okay, for example, in my resort you may have to take approval from our resort owner. Okay, like that. So depending upon where you are flying your drones depends on that your drone. So for example, in yellow zone you have to take a approval from ATC. Okay, if you want to fly a drone in red zone, you have to take a permission from central government only. Okay, so red zone is almost like no for flying the drones. You don't get easily a permission to fly in a red zone. Yellow zone maybe you can get with a valid justification and valid requirement only. ओके नहीं तो कोई भी जाएगा बोलेगा मुझे येलो जोन में ड्रोन फ्लाई करना है मुझे दो. It will not happen like that until unless you have a valid reason for flying the drone and requirement and valid justification. Okay, then only you will be getting a permission to fly in a yellow zone. Okay, sometimes you fly, you might have seen people flying drones in city and all those things, but they are taking a basic permission from a local enforcement body, maybe a police station and all the thing, within a certain limit. Like for example, if I have a building and I want to take a footage of that building, so I may just approach a local police station that for so and so reason I am going to fly the drone for this. Kindly take a note and give a permission for that. So they may validate and check, and based on the requirement, they may give you the permission. Okay, but if it is something beyond the ask is beyond their capacity, they may simply say reject or neglect, or they may ask you to go to higher officials to get the permission. Okay. So dynamic nature of zoning: central government may update the airspace map for digital sky platform for unmanned aircraft system from time to time in order to change the status of area from one zone to another zone. Such change shall come in effect no sooner than 7 days from the date of such update. Okay, so central government, like as I said, almost 5 states in north and west area of our country was converted into the red zone. So this was done by the central government considering the critical scenario of war. Okay, so defense, because based on the defense and all the things they have converted. So dynamic nature of zoning, like as of now the Pune, Solapur, Ahmednagar, these are also converted as a red zone. So due to some valid reason they have converted those zones into red zone. So earlier that was green zone, now it has been converted as a red zone. Okay, so temporary, even sometimes temporary red zone, like Mumbai was converted during that point in time as a temporary red zone. Even for example, like area like Vasai, Virar, Palghar, okay, due to the coastal nearity to the port and all important area, these are being converted into the temporary red zone during 21st of December till 31st of January each year. Okay, so that's how they will convert. So they will convert it in the red zone, and they will intimate the people who are belonging or having the registered drones in that area. But that doesn't mean that you have to wait for that communication to come. If you see the last line, okay, an endeavor shall be made to inform through a digital sky platform or other electronic means to all holders of unique identification number who are within the distance of 5 kilometers from the perimeter of the temporary red zone of the restriction so declared by the sub rule 1. But in case no such information is received, for example, I am having a UN number and I am part of that zone where it is temporary converted as a red zone, and I cannot say that I didn't receive any information, I don't know about it. It is saying that it shall not absolve a remote pilot responsibility to verify the zonal restrictions on the digital sky platform before commencing an unmanned aircraft system operations. That means end of the day it is a remote pilot duty to check the status of the zonal restrictions. Okay, he has to go on digital sky, like even though our site is authorized for flying and training, we make sure that when we start our flying on day 4, I will make sure that on day 4 I will check on digital sky platform if there is any kind of a restrictions or not. If there is any restrictions on that side, like Mumbai was there, so there were couple of flying training organizations. They could not fly last 1 month. Entire month of May till 13th of June, they were not able to fly the drones or not fly drones for training purpose also, because entire Mumbai and the region nearby was converted as a red zone. So they could not commence. Now they can resume back their operations. Okay. So it is a duty of a pilot, whether you got intimation, you not got information, irrespective of that, it is a duty of a remote pilot, the certified pilot, to verify on a digital sky platform about the zone status. Okay. Okay, now if you see the operations of US carriage of dangerous goods, no person shall carry a dangerous goods on unmanned aircraft system unless such operations in compliance with the aircraft rules 20203. So 2003 का जो rule है, that is an amendment to our aircraft rule 1937, which specifies what is a dangerous goods, what is been called as a dangerous good and what is not as a dangerous good. Okay. Then right of way, no person operating an unmanned aircraft system shall violate the right of way of a manned aircraft. So always priority will be given to the commercial airlines or civil airlines. Okay, where it is called as a manned aircraft. So manned aircraft will always get a first priority of flight. Okay, and shall always remain clear of all manned aircraft. Okay, mandatory, like in case of you had some kind of accident or some issue, okay, you crash your drone, you have to make sure that you report that incident to DGCA or you log a case with the DGCA within 48 hours. Okay, in case you have insurance of your drone, you have to mandatorily report that. Without that mandatory reporting, you cannot claim your insurance for your drone also. Okay, so within that also has to happen within 48 hours. You cannot delay beyond 48 hours. Suppose आपका drone crash हो गया, okay, even crash हो गया which is beyond recoverable, you cannot find your drone, you do not know, suppose कहीं पे storm में या somewhere you lost your drone. Okay, in that scenario also you have to report it as an accident. Okay, because then only you will able to claim it. Without that you cannot claim your drone. Okay, so that is what you have to understand. Okay, so there are certain parameters which are defined. So this is a very generic picture which we have incorporated in slides to showcase you what are do's and don'ts. Normally these posters have been put up in most of the drone organizations or wherever the drones are being flown. Okay, so do is, first is know the characteristics of the aircraft and know how to fly it safely. So any drone which you are trying to fly, make sure you are aware of its flight. Okay, so when we are flying the drone, our drones, I will be giving you briefing. Okay, so that is a pilot briefing what we will be doing. We will be doing multiple sessions. When we go to the store, when we take the drone out of the cage or the case, we will be explaining you the parts and components of the drone. When we are on the field also, I will again explaining a lot of things with respect to the flying. So that is what I will make sure that you are equipped with the knowledge of the aircraft. Okay, as well as I will ensure the aircraft is safe for the flight before you operate. That means pre-flight checklist. Okay, so these first 2 points are very important. Any drone you are flying, make sure that you are aware of its capabilities, you are aware of its characteristics. Okay, you should read the manual, you should see it's whether there are some videos or some training is available from the OEMs. You should attend those trainings. Okay, then only you should attempt to fly the drones. Okay, also ensure that whatever the checklist specified by the OEMs as a pre-flight checklist, you should follow that checklist. Okay, then only you should fly the drone. Fly only in a good visibility and weather conditions. Okay, so make sure that you are flying the drone in good visibility conditions and weather conditions. Okay, keep your aircraft within your sight at all times, because we are getting certified for flying the drone in VLOS conditions. Okay. Ensure the operations of transmitting of unmanned aircraft system compiles IDA requirement. That means you are not flying beyond your visibility, not with you're outside the range and all that thing. So you have to make sure that you're complying with the IDA requirement. Also make sure that your drone, what you are flying, they are away, or you're flying them safely from keeping a safe distance from people, property and other aircraft. That means it could be manned or it can be also unmanned. That's why even though our airbase, okay, drone port is authorized for 2 drones, we cannot fly both drones simultaneously. Okay, so we have to have a separate distance. At least 60-meter distance has to be there with 2 drones when they are flying. Okay, so our base is of 60 by 60. So within that area, at a given point time, I can only fly 1 drone. If I have to fly 2 drones, I have to extend my base to much double the size. Okay, so in a 60 by 60 area, I can fly only 1 drone at a time. Clear on the do's? I will go to the next, that is don'ts. So don'ts is don't fly the aircraft over any crowd. Okay, don't fly an aircraft weighing more than 2 kg. For us, this is a very generic do's and don'ts slide. So this is based on US segment. Okay, that's why it is mentioning 7 kg. For our, it is 2 kg, because beyond that 2 kg we required a license. Okay, within 2 kg we can fly without a license also. Okay, so do not suspend or carry or attach any item to the aircraft unless it is manufactured to hold that item. So do not attach anything which is not authorized to your drone. Lot of people are doing those kind of things, right? कोई banner लगाता है, कोई flower dropping का mechanism लगाता है, कोई perfume लगा रहा है. You know, lot of people are doing very nasty thing with the drones. That is not legal. Okay, you may be caught by doing those kind of activities. Okay, so that is not authorized until unless it has been certified for that particular drone. कल आप कुछ भी रॉकेट लॉन्चर भी लगा सकते हो ड्रोन के ऊपर, राइट? आई एम टॉकिंग टू वन ऑफ द कंपनी who has manufactured a drone to launch a rockets. Okay, that is basically done a project for DRDO. Okay, so that project is basically for DRDO, and DRDO has specifically asked that OEM to manufacture that particular drones for their requirements. Okay, so that's basically for defense. Okay, so they can do it and they can ask, because that is within their preview of defense, but not for civil or commercial applications of your drones. Okay, do not drop or discharge any item or substance from the aircraft. Do not fly where you may interfere with the emergency service provider or moving vehicles where you can endanger or distract drivers. So a lot of people have done this kind of thing in past, okay, which has got lot of trouble and disturbance and accidents also. Okay, so don't fly your drone near to the any kind of vehicle. Do not fly the aircraft over or within restricted, prohibited or danger area, including security sensitive locations. This we talked about red zone. Okay, so do not fly even like for example Parliament House, Mantralay, any government office, or even like hospitals or temples. You know, Siddhivinayak temple, Shirdi Sai Baba temple, or Tirupati temple, Madurai temple, or nuclear facility at Tarapur, Baba Atomic Research Centers, or wherever, you know, even your what is this called? What is it? Refineries. Okay, these are all restricted area or security sensitive areas. You cannot fly drone. Like for example, Jamnagar there is a Reliance refinery, or in Kerala there is a refinery, or even there are rigs in Mumbai airport, Mumbai area. Okay, even the area in the sea they are being coordinated as a red zone. Okay, so do not fly drones in those danger areas, including security sensitive locations. Do not fly within the 5 km of airport or military airbase or higher than 200 feet. Okay, so you have to make sure that you follow all these do's and don'ts. Any questions on do's and don'ts? Yes, Shoham.
So, the reserve forest area comes under which zone?
So it is a green zone, but it is a restricted area. So you have to take a permission from forest. As simple as that. Even like I'll give a see, think from a perspective. Okay, let's say for example you are flying a drone in agriculture. So it will belong to which zone?
Green
Agriculture
zone.
agriculture zone will more or less will be a green zone. But can I fly a drone on somebody's field? वो कल फार्मर मेरा कंप्लेंट कर सकता है, राइट?
Yes.
So if I were to fly, even if I am taking a project from that farmer, you have to sign a document. He has to authorize you, or he has to avail. You might, if your company, for example, Soham, you tomorrow you form a organization where you are giving a service to farmers. Okay, so you have to have some kind of a service to be taken by that farmer from you. You should have some kind of a documentation from him that he is authorizing for XYZ activity, for spraying, seeding, or crop monitoring, any kind of thing where you are flying a drone on his farm. You should document as a document. Okay, then only you should fly. Without a document you should never do it. Okay, that is what your approval it is. Then he cannot take any action. He cannot say that कि अब मेरे बिना बताए मेरे farm के ऊपर drone fly किया. Got it? What I'm trying to say? Though it is a green zone, you can fly, but still that property belongs to somebody else. You have to take a permission from it. Even in a remote area like farm, okay, open area, एकदम open area किसी को belong नहीं कर रहा है, किसी का restriction नहीं है, वो location पे आप fly कर सकते हो up to 400 feet. Okay, but that area will be belonging to some or other there. Somebody would take a pause. Okay, so you have to see whether under what jurisdiction that, like forest will come under forest area, dam will come under irrigations, river will come again irrigations. So where you are flying, it will be definitely that area will be under sun. Like village will be under Gram Panchayat or local police station authority. You have to take a permission from there, even though they belong to green zone. So think from that perspective. A lot of people have this misconception कि green zone है तो हम किधर भी fly कर सकते हैं. It's not like that. Okay, green zone है, but it has own limitations. It's not that you cannot fly. You can fly, but follow the appropriate procedure of approvals. Yes, Shubham.
So is this only for drones that are above 2 kg, or below 2 kg I can fly in green zone without permissions also?
Yes. So if you are flying a drone which is below 2 kg, okay, for example, 2 kg ke below, that is 250 grams up to 2 kg, which is a micro category or micro class. If you are flying for non-commercial, you don't require permission. But if you are doing it for commercial, you require permission for that also. For nano, it is completely exempted.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
Micro, if you are doing it for commercial, you need to take permission. For non-commercial, you don't require. Clear?
Yeah.
And anyway, for small, medium, and large, you require a permission.
Okay.
Okay. So I hope now the zones and the approvals and things are cleared. As we talk more and more and we explore scenarios, there might be after some time there might be a scenario coming in your mind. You can ask me whenever you have a doubt, any question coming up. I'll clarify more and more. So I will make sure that in next 5 days, all your concepts, all your thinking, all things required for safety, secure, and regulated compliance related flying will be cleared. Okay, by 5th day you will be very well versed with all the concepts. Okay, now coming back to drone rules 2021, the next segment is remote pilot certificate for which you have applied. Okay, so no individual other than holder of valid remote pilot license enlisted on Digital Sky platform shall operate an unmanned aircraft system. So if you are authorized pilot only, then only you are authorized for flying the drones, which means you are getting listed on the Digital Sky platform. Your name will be also there on the Digital Sky platform. Last 1 year, the Digital Sky platform was not updating the details about the pilot. Earlier it was available. When we did our certification, our name was, if I can show you my name, but when you go for application, like last almost more than a year, it was not happening. It was offline generation of certificate. Only last 2 days they have because there was a migration of Digital Sky platform to a new website called as Digital Sky, which is Sky platform is migrated to DGCA website, okay, which is called EGCA. Okay, so that is a new platform has come up, which was already available, but the drone related data was not migrated or not moved. वो migration अभी last 2-3 दिन में हुआ है. Now it has already started. So now you guys, you are the first people who will be getting probably the license online. Okay, so up till now, whatever the license we have issued was offline, but now those offline, even though they got the offline certificate, their license will be also converted into the offline by the DGCA in backend. So even their names will be available on the platform. Okay, so there is nothing to worry about whether you get offline or online certificate. Even you get an offline certificate, it will get converted to online in some days. Okay, so if currently that migration is in happening, whatever the old data is there, it has been migrated or is in process. Okay, it will take some time to move everything on the new platform. Okay, so on a Digital Sky platform it was listed. So your remote pilot license shall mention the category. So your category will be, what will be your category? Can you think about it? We talked about category. What will be your category of your license? Or I would ask a very simple question. What are the categories defined in the drone rules for unmanned aircraft system? What are the 3 categories? Can you tell? Anybody can of you tell?
So it's rotorcraft, aeroplane, and hybrid.
Very good. So out of these 3 category, your category will be rotorcraft. Your subcategory will be RPAS, and your classification will be small. Okay, so you are getting a license of small class, which is of range 2 kg to 25 kg. Your category will be rotorcraft, subcategory will be RPAS, and plus additional one more information will be there, which is called as VLOS written in your certificate. Okay, so you will be getting rotorcraft, RPAS, small, and VLOS condition. So these 4 options will be mentioned in your certificate. The individual should be eligible to obtain the remote license if he is not less than 18 years. So if you are less than 18 years, I get a lot of inquiries of the people who wanted to make their children drone pilots. Okay, so yesterday only I got one inquiry also where the student was 15 years of age. So we cannot give or we cannot train that person for remote pilot certificate. He has to be at least 18 years and above. Okay, whereas higher limit is 65. There was a person when he got certified, that time he was 62. Okay, so अभी 3 साल हो गया, so he has become 65. His license has become invalid. Okay, but DGC has not cancelled his license because his license is valid for 10 years. But his license is currently on hold because they need to validate whether they can allow him to fly because he is crossed 65 years of age as per the drone rules 2021. So उसका license अभी as of now hold पे है. Okay, so he cannot fly. So he has applied to DGC. What is next? Whether he can fly or not fly. It is not about the capability of flying. Whether he is physically fit also they need to see. Okay, so what is the reason why he is required to flying, that they will see, and then they will certify or they will cancel his license because he is not in that category of age. Okay, and the education limitation is only class 10th examination, and the person should complete the training. Like once you complete your 5 days training, I will be making an application to the DGCA to generate your license. Okay, so once you are done, after 7 to 10 days, you will get the license. Okay, most probably you will be, I am not sure, I'm not guaranteeing as of now, but I am assuming that you should be getting, you are the first 3 people who will be getting now online licenses. अगर online नहीं हुआ, तो initially we may give you offline license, and then later on your license will get converted to online licenses. Okay, so don't worry about what license you get. Okay, I will be processing it behalf of you. If I am able to get it online, very good. If not, definitely you will get an offline license, which will be later converted to online. So even we will be doing, so whatever our students who have got offline licenses, we will be, we have already sent the data to DGCA. So DGCA, we are now converting those offline licenses to online licenses. Okay. So the application and procedure, this is not for you, basically this is for us. So if you see, this is a D4 form to be filled by the RPTO. Okay, so basically we'll be filling all your details in this form and submitting to the DGCA for generating the RPCA. Okay, so don't worry about this. Is as per the drone rules, this is what we have to follow. Okay, so validity of your license, as I said, it is for 10 years. So as I said, exemptions for obtaining the license. Now remote pilot license, for nano you don't require remote pilot license. For micro you do not require remote pilot license for non-commercial purposes. So if you are flying for non-commercial purpose, you don't require license also for nano category, nano class. Okay, but if you are flying it for commercial purpose, then you have to take a license. But as of now, none of the apart from one or two people, even we have applied to DGCA to give us authorization to issue the micro class licenses also. Okay, but DGCA is not giving that license because they do not want that segment to have a pilot, because that's a very low segment. Okay, that weight category, because उसमें आप time pass वाला drones है. Okay, hardly there would be some out of 100 type certified drones, there are I think only 3 drones which are certified under micro class. Okay, so you do not have much drones, or DGCA is not promoting even micro class for commercial purposes. Okay, so they want more and more drones to come in a small class, which is 2 kg to 25 kg. Because आप ड्रोन बनाओगे, ड्रोन के साथ आप पेलोड लगाओगे, ऑटोमेटिकली आपका ड्रोन का वेट, बैटरी एंड ऑल दैट थिंग्स विल गो अबव 2 kg. वो स्मॉल क्लास मतलब माइक्रो क्लास में ओनली लाइक योर DJI drones, unless you have a very strong research done on the drone where you're optimizing the weight and the visibility of your drone flying or airworthiness of your drone, and you're making sure the drone weight is less than 2 kg, then only. I mean, there are hardly 1 or 2 OEMs who has developed that kind of drones in a micro class. Okay, so that's why it is right now not required, even license as well as type certifications. Okay, so DGCA wants maximum drones to be in a small class segment. Okay, important, before we end this session, you have to make sure that your drone is insured. So drone, since it's a mobility device, a moving device like a vehicle, that's why it follows the same. Earlier there was no clarity कि insurance ले, even insurance company was not aware कि insurance दे तो कैसे दे, how we will give the insurance to the drone, or what kind of policy or what kind of rule we will follow. Then DGCA is specified in Rule Rules 2021 that insurance company can follow Motor Vehicle Act of 1988. Under that rule, you can give the insurance, a third party insurance of an unmanned aircraft system, and compensation in case of damage to life and property caused by such an unmanned aircraft system. So similar to your vehicle, same rule and regulations are applicable to the drones. Okay, after this clarification, only after Drone Rules 2021 has clarified this requirement, the insurance company started giving insurance to the drones. So right now, earlier there was only 1 or 2 companies. I think right now most of the insurance company are giving, like ICICI is giving, National Insurance is giving, Drogo Drones is going. I think even HDFC has started giving drone insurance. So this is been approved by insurance, that is IRDA, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Okay, so they are actually authorized to give the insurance. I mean, those insurance companies which are governed by Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, they only can give you the insurance, not anybody else. Okay, so authorized insurance company which are governed by Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India can give you the insurance for your drones. Now nano drones are being exempted. Okay, so nano drones are being exempted for getting a third party insurance. So for your nano drones, you really don't require insurance. Okay. So now why insurance is important? Because drone is prone to crash owing to bad weather, power failure, or inexperienced pilots. There are a lot of people who had causes crash or damage to life and property also. You had seen a lot of incident happening in events also, right? somebody got hurt, the performer sometimes have got hurt, like Benny Dayal in Chennai has got hurt, or there were some incidents even in Pune and some locations where people have got hurt about it. Okay, even the famous international, like what is his name? I forgot his name. Singer, he is a singer. I think Ricky Martin or somebody who got hit by the drone when he was performing. A flying drone came near him. He tried to catch it. The propeller got hurt and his fingers were got hurt. Okay, so that's why you have to make sure that your drone is being insured, because if something wrong happens, you should be able to compensate or you can take care of it. So drone means crash, damage to the body, damage to the payload, or damage to person or property. So how do you will compensate? If you have a drone insurance, then only you will able to compensate. Right? So you have to shell things from your pocket, right? So to safeguard yourself, your drone, and the safety of drone along with the life and property where you are flying, you have to make sure your drone is being insured. Third party insurance you have to take. So you can avail the insurance based on requirement. It can be for 4 hours, 1 day, 1 year also. So you can talk to insurance company one time. Like if I have a project of only 10 days, I will take insurance only for 10 days. Okay. So my insurance will be valid only for that particular days of operations. I can specify and give it. For example, I'm a training institute. I need a insurance for whole year. So I have taken insurance for whole year. If I am going for short term, I am doing a project. Suppose I want to take a project of, like, let's say I want to fly drone at some fort, Raigad fort, and my activity is only for 3 days. So I may take for 3 days or 5 days of insurance, unnecessary taking it for a month or a year, which will be very expensive and costly. I will take it for a shorter period, like how when we are flying or when we are traveling, we take a short-term insurance, like just to safeguard our travel time. Okay, so जब हम लोग fly कर रहे हैं aeroplane में, civil airline, that time the insurance is taken, right? It's very minimal. It hardly costs 50 or 100 rupees max, right? और बस में travel करते तो 5 रुपए या 10 रुपए का insurance रहता है. So it is just to safeguard ourselves. That's why those organizations gives you a short-term insurance, right? So when you are applying for insurance, you have to give the drone serial number along with the UIN number and the images of your drones, and you have to apply. And then you have to specify how much cover you are giving it, whether it is for 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, depending on the plan, your premium will be defined. So depending upon the amount or duration for you are taking the insurance, what are you covering in the insurance, and what is the liability, third party liability you are covering with that insurance, that will define your premium of it. Okay, so anytime you are doing any commercial activity, your agricultural drones, your commercial surveillance drones, inspection drones, monitoring drones, your delivery drones, all needs to be insured as a third party insurance. Okay, that is mandatory as per drone rules 2021. Okay, कल अगर आप कुछ fly कर रहे हो और आप drone ले हो, तो first thing they will ask you whether you have insurance. First they will ask you whether you have a license, whether you are flying in a right zone with the right approvals, and the last option they will ask you the insurance. Okay, अगर आप insurance भी नहीं और बाकी सब है आपके पास, तो भी आप fault में हो. Okay, so they will confiscate your drone. They will take your drone. Okay, because your drone is dangerous. You are not covered under the insurance. So fees for the forms D1, D2, D4 is all 100 rupees. Only for D5. This D5 form is basically for authorization or organization as a RPTO. Okay, remote pilot training. Like us, if we are applying for the authorization, we have to pay a fee of 1000 rupees. Whereas for normal, all other, like when I am doing application for your remote pilot license, I have to just pay 100 rupees to DGC. Okay. If I am doing a issuance, transfer or registration of UIN number, it is only 100 rupees. If I am going for only for type certification, the fee is only 100 rupees. Okay. That doesn't mean by just paying 100 rupees आपका ड्रोन टाइप सर्टिफाइड होगा. टाइप सर्टिफिकेशन करने के लिए कम से कम आपको 35 lakhs to 50 lakhs rupees are required for per drone. Okay. So ये 100 rupees सिर्फ आप एप्लीकेशन कर रहे हो. Okay, you are just doing application for type certification. Whereas for UIN number and for remote pilot, it is only 100 rupees. Apart from there is no other fees. बट आपको पायलट लाइसेंस करने के लिए आपको आरपीटीओ को पे करना पड़ता है, राइट? यू पेड 35,000 rupees, so that is a cost for your pilot license also, not only 100 rupees which we are paying behalf of you, but actual cost of your pilot license is 35,000 rupees for you. Okay, some might charge 50,000 rupees also. Like when we did our courses, it was almost like 85,000 rupees. Okay, so when I did the course, it was almost like 55,000 rupees or 65,000 rupees. Before me, people who have done initially the courses, that time it was somewhere even 95,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees bhi tha initially, the course fees. Okay, now it has got reduced. Okay, because number of RPTOs are more. Okay, so the more RPTOs, the fee is getting reduced. Okay, so cancellation and suspension of any authorization or license or certificate or approval can be done by DGCA if you are not following or you are not following any rules and regulations or compliance part. Okay, so they can always cancel or suspend your license, certificate, authorizations or approval granted under these rules. Okay, DGC can do that. They will give you time to justify. If they are not justified by your support and answers, they may cancel or suspend your certificate, license, authorization or approvals. Okay, they may leave a penalty also. Earlier penalty was a huge. Right now under drone rules, maximum penalty that they can give is 1 lakh rupees. Okay, power to inspect. DGCA has a full power to inspect your premises, your drones, your documentation and everything. If they found anything non-compliant, they can penalize and give you penalty also. Okay, you can't say that you can't check my drone. You can't say that you can't check. Like even our authorized drone port is in authorized. Okay, we got authorization, but every year there is a inspection, there is a audit. So every year they will come, they will intimate us that we are coming for audit. So we have to make sure that everything is as per the requirement of authorization. If they find anything non-compliance, they may give us time to clarify, justify and rectify it also. If we are not doing it, they may leave a penalty on us, or they may cancel or suspend our authorization until unless we clarify all those non-compliance part. Okay. So this is the last slide. So when you read, okay, when you get your drone rules 2021 document, read all these things. So all these points, whatever we have discussed here in the slides, are mentioned in that document. Okay, so that document is a comprehensive document, almost of 22 pages. Okay, total 44 pages hai. 22 pages are in Hindi, 22 pages are in English. Okay, so this is just a summary. I will be sharing you a summary document also about the drone rules 2021 along with the drone rules 2021 document. Okay, here we are talking about drone registration is mandatory for nano, micro, small, medium and large. Nano आप बोलोगे, आपने तो बोला था drone rules के against nano exempted है. It is only exempted if you are less than 250 grams and flying only below 50 feet. If it is above 50 feet, you have to register it also on the Digital Sky platform. For type certification, nano is completely exempted, but for micro, small, medium and large, you have to do type certifications. For pilot license, again for micro, small, medium and large is required. Permission in green zone, permission यहाँ पे नहीं लिखा हुआ है, but I have given you scenario from where to take the appropriate permissions. Permission in yellow zone, yes, even you are flying nano, micro, small, medium and large is required. Same for red zone also. But for R&D, education and testing, you don't require permissions. Like Shubham told you early morning, right? If your premises is used for some kind of R&D, if your premises is under for education or testing, like IIT Bombay is an education institute, they have taken permissions. They are being exempted because that permission that been exempted for particular R&D, education and testing. So in IIT Bombay, they do a lot of educational related activity, they do a lot of R&D related activity, they do a lot of testing activity. Various department does for different requirements, and they are being exempted. Not directly they are exempted, but they can get an approval, though their location belongs to yellow zone, yellow or red zone comes. Okay. अगर मेरा IIT Bombay was somewhere out in a green zone, then they don't need required to take us permission. They would directly get an exemption by setting a mail to DGCA that we are in a green zone and please acknowledge or give us the acknowledgement on authorization for conducting R&D education and testing. So you can do that also. Okay. So with that we complete our first module, though we have taken a very long time. We will be taking now a break of almost 1 hour or maybe little bit longer, because actually I am going out for some work. If I get delayed, I will mention, I will specify on the group. Okay, since we will be closing this session and we will be rejoining again back by 2:30. Okay, so we will be giving a 1 hour break now as per our schedule, and then we will be continuing with our basic principles of flight and then RTR procedures, and then our remaining modules will be continuing. Okay, so any questions we will be taking up after the break, and then we'll continue. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
We are good. Okay. So thank you very much. I will be disconnecting from this session and rejoin at 2:30. If it is getting delayed, I will mention in our common group. Okay. If it is delayed. Okay. So just look before you join the batch. Thank you very much.